guys ever heard of Rock City? It's I've heard of a little bit about it, but it's way bigger than what I actually thought. Check it out.
Hey, I'm delivering here into these caves. Look what the sign says. 5 million square feet available. Is I'm dreaming? 5 million square feet?
What up, whatevers? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got more weird and crazy TikToks that'll change how you see everything. So you're gonna want to stay locked in, cause you ain't gonna believe this.
Scenario time. Let's do a little assessment. The lights go out. It's 10 o'clock at night. You stumble through the house, open the back door, and step outside. The whole neighborhood's out. The sky strikes you as darker as well. As you converse with your neighbors, you realize how eerily quiet it is. No cars, no sirens. You pull your phone from your pocket and realize the screen is black. You hit the power button and nothing happens. Your neighbor tries to start his car and it won't start. What don't you have right now that you ought to think about getting? Most of you know what you need. We just need to get you past that easily solvable excuse. It's not about fear. It's about preparedness. Scenario time. Let's do a little assessment. The lights go out. It's 10 o'clock at night. You stumble through the house, open the back door, and step outside. The whole neighborhood's out. The sky strikes you as darker as well.
Breaking news! Yeah, we got some leave the world, what in the leave the world behind type of news. As blackouts across the entire state of Maine. They're saying over 400,000 people without power. Well, and at this, somewhere between 350 and 400,000 people without power as of 5 p.m. York County, Cumberland County is hit specifically hard. The power outages are due to the massive snowstorm, which I'm actually kind of like getting a little piece of right here. Yeah, here we go. There you go. A little bit of a late December storm, baby. Anyways, for all y'all in Maine, buckle up. I hope you have some sort of source of heat, because for some of y'all, it's a multi-day restoration effort. Apparently, they got lines down all over the place. In the meantime, you could go click the link in my bio and watch the Tim Kennedy interview, which YouTube is suppressing.
Fallen angels and asteroids. What do they have in common? Well, let's look. This, if you're anything like I used to be, thought for many, many, many years this was a sign of an old asteroid. But if you think that still, let me just ask you this. If it was an asteroid that came in at an angle, unless it was coming straight down, it wouldn't look like this. It would leave some sort of tail or something different. This is not an asteroid. And if you haven't come across flat Earth yet, I highly recommend you research flat Earth. But you can see a lot of these have been found over the course of thousands of years. And I found the number of them that have been found to be very peculiar. So here's just another example. Does anyone know around how many of these huge craters have been found? Around 200, at least 190 I've researched, and there have been 195 found. And you know what that made me think of? It made me think of how many angels came down to earth with Lucifer. Anyone know that number? It was roughly around 200. Kind of coincidental there, right? Maybe we're in Satan's short season, and maybe those fallen angels that were kept in prison underground have already been released. This
About the asteroid Apophis. Its name draws some attention because the cosmic mass was named after the Egyptian god of chaos, ironically also known as the Great Serpent, who, since he was also the enemy of the sun god Ra or light, existed in darkness.
Could we be living in the short season of Satan, and tribulation's already happened and the angels have already come up? I think so.
I don't think so. If, like the Bible said, that Satan inherited the earth. Lucifer inherited the earth. Why did he need to go underground? Why couldn't he just walk on earth and just rule the earth? Why did he have to go underground and now he has to be released? He inherited the earth. That's why I don't even understand the whole hell concept. If he inherited the earth, why did he need to go underground? It's his earth. He inherited it. To inherit something is to receive something, right? To be given something, correct? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Get in the comments and let me know.
Have you guys ever heard of Rock City? Have you guys ever heard of Rock City? It's, I've heard of a little bit about it, but it's way bigger than what I actually saw. Check it out.
Hey, I'm delivering here. Into these caves. Look what the sign says. 5 million square feet available. Is I'm dreaming? 5 million square feet under here? Hey, I'm in the cave, man. I'm actually delivering pizza crust. I'm actually delivering pizza crust. Weighs only 15,000 pounds. Light as hell. I'm about 40 miles from the house.
Okay, I honestly think that there are no people or creatures, as everybody say, underground. What I do think is some people are going to have to go underground because the sun is heating up, and that's the whole reason for it. Because if it was people underground or whatever, why the hell would they lease any of the property? And especially if they was trying to keep it secret. That don't make no sense to me. Why would I lease something out to the public and then try to hide some creatures from you at the same time? Don't make sense. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
As we come into 2024, who remembers this guy talking about the Brazilian floods? Where he missed this. I also made a video on it. There's a dark spirit that's pretending to be a door. Look. Whew. And he didn't even see it. It was hiding like it was a door. Look at that. Look at that. Once again, when you look closer, it looks like it's a door. It's connected to it. So it's imitating as if it's actually a door. But if you look to the left, it's also a face. So it's trying to copy the door like a chameleon. Like camouflage, people. But it's actually a dark spirit right in front of our face. This is the type of stuff that make you itch. So it was just in the public, blending in. Can you imagine how many other places? And then as the camera begins to move, it moves. My Lord. Did you not see it?
My Lord, you are
Let's
retarded.
play it again.
I'm sorry.
Slow motion. Slow motion. Look. It dropped. That's a dark spirit, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my
That's
God.
what we come against. That is a spirit, ladies and gentlemen. For all the atheists and the non-believing people that can't seem to understand things that they can't see with their physical eyeballs. Well, there
I see it.
you have it. That is a spirit, a dark spirit, what we fight against. Ephesians 6:12 says, it is not flesh and blood that we fight against, but spirits of the unseen world. Demonic powers and principalities we fight against. And to all my brothers and sisters in Christ, continue to be a spiritual praying warrior. You are appreciated more than you actually understand. And even when you are hated, remember, they hated the Lord first. But even he gave his life for those who are ungrateful. Continue to walk that narrow path. I love you guys. God bless. Shalom.
Bro, this is where God gave you discernment, right? That is the ability to be able to judge, right? And we are doing a terrible job at that, because anybody who knows life or have seen some things know that that is a black screen. That is a black screen that was on the door, and the pressure from the water snatched it off the door, and it immediately sunk under the water. That is a screen, bro. But to just pass that off as a dark spirit, man, we thumping these religions way too hard. We thump them way too hard. And this is why you scare people. Instead of really looking at that video and really trying to dissect what that is, you immediately go off what you've been taught and programmed to think what a spirit is. It's all mind control. It's all mind control. And that was literally a screen that was on a door and that was snatched down by the pressure of the water. We always tend to go off the rim and say things instead of trying to go in digitally and clear the video up, because the video is clearly blurry, but it was a screen. Anybody with eyes can see that. Look, and you could be what you want to be, but don't use your religion to scare people, to create fear tactics. Don't do that. That's just ridiculous to me, man. But what y'all think? You know, I always allow people, I said, look, I'm not here to convince you anything. You know, you should always think for yourself. And I'm thinking for myself at the moment, and that was a screen. That was a window screen. That was a black window screen. That's all it was.
United States debt clock news secret window. Gone with the wind. You know, one of the first things I hear, oh, you're just trying to keep people in a perpetual state of fear. The U.S. Treasury bonds. I've been telling y'all for a long time to keep your eyes on Japan. Iraq, to pay for imports from Turkey in the Iraqi dinar, not the U.S. dollar, okay? It also says that Iraq is to end all dollar cash withdrawals by January 1st, 2024, a central bank official says. And word on the street, this could be a rumor, is that they're going to burn a large amount of cash. I'm not claiming to be the smartest man in the world, but you may want to think about having at least $500 in low denominational United States fiat currency. $1 bills, $5 bills, $10 bills. Because when they hit the light switch on this thing, I mean the hard switch, and you're not able to use your debit card, think about it. Because I can assure you, this old financial system and the people who controlled it is gone with the wind, baby. Major economic shift is coming your way. Wake up and smell the coffee while you can.
I believe it. So yeah, I would recommend a lot of people whenever this happens, because it is no secret that the value of the dollar is going to be no more real soon, especially now that nobody needs our currency, right? Nobody needs, it's not the most valuable thing in the world no more. So yeah, for us to survive, yeah, keep some loose dollars, 1 5s and 10s. A lot of ones would probably help. So yeah, if we go back to this old system, to be honest with you, I think it's gonna be a good thing, because then that means that the value of the dollar goes up for us here. It goes down for everybody else, but it goes up here for us. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Ruby Ridge, by the way, is seen as a success by the FBI,
which is crazy,
which is fucking bananas.
Tell people if they don't know what Ruby Ridge was.
Yes.
Tell them the story behind it.
So a Green Beret from Vietnam shacks up in rural Idaho, and he decides that he wants to have a life off-grid. And the FBI, doing an investigation with the ATF, finds out that he has some kind of gun, and they need to do an investigation, and they need to go on site. This is almost, it's crazy because there's similarities with our situation. You find out the guy's background. Like if you're developing a target packet on a bad guy.
Why couldn't this man be eliminated? A man named Simeon Toko was being compared to Jesus Christ in the 60s because of his godlike abilities to regenerate after being unalived. He could also appear to people in an apparitional state, which means he'd appear to them in his spiritual body. And he stopped a plane in midair just by ordering it to stop. If you're interested in the other videos I made on Simeon Toko, follow me and look at my Simeon Toko playlist, because I made several videos on him and I want to get his story out because it's rather unknown on a grand scale. But anyways, this man is being compared to Jesus, and although that comparison is disrespectful in many people's eyes, he literally is immortal. And although many may be quick to call him the Antichrist, he was a devoted Christian. Let's cover the story of Simeon Toko in more depth. Simeon Toko was born on February 24, 1918 in a northern village in Angola. In 1949, Simeon Toko asked in his public prayer that the Holy Spirit manifest in Africa to put an end to the abuses of the colonial powers. Toko became a dedicated member of the Baptist Church in Otaga. Toko was sent to slavery in an agricultural field in Kakonda in southern Angola, and a hit was placed on him when word spread of this Messiah-like African man. In 1994, Pastor Adelino Canhandy, who was a cook at the Kakonda agricultural compound, saw what happened to Toko and couldn't believe his eyes. When Canhandy was cooking, Toko said, "Canhandy, come here." Toko told him to stand outside and be watchful because Simeon Toko was aware of what was about to happen to himself. Toko looked at Canhandy and said, "Once again the Son of Man will be tested." One of the Portuguese foremen told Toko to go under the tractor because weeds were clogging it, and when he did, the man turned it on unaliving Toko. Canhandy stood frozen in fear, not believing what he just witnessed. Then out of nowhere Toko regenerated before Canhandy's eyes, leaving him completely shocked and making the Portuguese man run away in terror. But
yeah, I read about this man, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he's dead now. So if that's true, then he would still be alive right now, right? I don't know. Y'all get in the comments. Do some research on that guy. Let me know what y'all think, because I think he's dead, like, to be honest with you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So we've been outside training all day and all night, and so look at this, guys. A fucking train was found sitting like it had been left behind, full of personnel carriers, okay, that is going to be wrote up as lost now, okay? Now, it might not be, but now they have reason to say it was lost, and imagine who could come and get these trains. I guarantee you somebody's already come and offloaded them somewhere. This is insane, folks. This is called critical staging. Military guys know exactly what's going on right here.
On our way to work. Stopped here at the tracks. And yeah. I don't know where the rest of the train is, but I think they forgot something. Oh, another fun day.
These two are known as the Island Boys, and if you know anything about them, you know that they have been going viral recently for some very, very questionable things. But I found a video from a year ago of them explaining how they sold their soul, which honestly explains a lot. Check this out.
About a week, not today, but about a week ago, I sold my soul. You understand what I'm saying? And ever since I sold my soul, I haven't been happy ever since. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gotta believe me. It is what it is. I'm not even capping. It's because, listen, I had to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Because, like, I had to do it because I was trying to make it. Like, you feel me? Like, and as if when I was selling my soul, like, there was things that I could sacrifice about and stuff like that. And I sacrificed myself. The demon asked me, are you sure you want to sacrifice yourself? You can sacrifice someone that you love. I said, nah. But when you sell your soul, you feel me? You gotta, it's not how people say it is. You really gotta pick. You understand what I'm saying? And you get anything you want. You get to be rich. You get to have fortune. You get to have everything you ever wanted. But you could think I'm capped. I'm not tripping. I did it a week ago. I haven't been happy ever since. I've been having anxiety every single day.
You know what? There was a video that suggested those two kids right there, those boys right there, were the sons of Jeffrey Epstein, right? And then when I heard that, then it started to make sense, because they came out singing a song that I'm an island boy. Epstein had the island, you know. Put two and two together. I don't know. What y'all think? That's crazy.
As we all know who Lil Wayne is. This is how Lil Wayne always looked throughout his life. He don't look like he has aged a bit. And I believe Lil Wayne is like 42, 43.
Lil Wayne literally has no back teeth.
Right? And as you may know, he is on Undisputed. Let me just say this right now. What I'm about to show you is not Lil Wayne. Hands down, not him. That is a clone. That is a replacement. That is not Lil Wayne. Period, point blank.
I mean,
this is Lil Wayne.
Keep it real. If you ask me, man.
What kind of dreads are those? Are not dreads.
The Lakers
Those are not dreads.
Be a championship team.
Something looks off about those dreads. That's number one.
Future as well.
Yes.
Number
You gotta
two,
get rid of
he's fat as hell.
Got to get
Look
rid
at his
of
body.
AD.
Gotta get rid of AD.
Because
Because the AD.
He's fat as hell.
You don't
Look at his body. Look at his
You
hands.
don't
Look at his
criticize
body.
that because that's a health. So it's whatever it is. Right.
Okay.
You know, because you don't want to say
You can
he's
clearly
soft.
see.
You don't want.
That's
so
not him.
whatever it is.
This is the real Lil Wayne. And you can look at previous Undisputeds and even at a basketball, a Lakers game, Lil Wayne still look like this. Not what you seen in that video. Lil Wayne is fat as hell. Big as hell. That can't be him.
Well, I don't know, man. We so caught up in the conspiracy theories, man, that we dismiss when people are having health problems. It done got to that point now. We have lost our ability to be human. Lil Wayne is getting older, which means that everything that he's done in his younger years is catching up with him. Everybody knows that Lil Wayne was a drug addict. Okay, Lil Wayne has had seizures. He has been on lean. You know, it's the cough syrup and everything that everybody was drinking. He was doing that. And that looks like a result of kidney failure. That's what happens when your kidneys start to fail. And I hope that he gets some help and I hope he heals, but he's not no clone, bro. Like, the man is sick, clearly. He's about to explode. He is retaining so much fluid. But what y'all think?
World War III predictions, Volume 3. America will be invaded. I said that Russia would win in Ukraine and that the most important success of that war, World War III predictions, Volume 3. America will be invaded. I said that Russia would win in Ukraine and that the most important success of that war for them was to drain our resources, which they did. I told you that South America would turn on the US and start allowing our enemies entry into their ports and start building up resources, soldiers, and more. And remember that I said 9 months ago that Israel would become the prime target of the Eastern powers, and that Russia and China would find their path to Israel through their allies in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, which they've done. So what's next on the table? Folks, there was a lot of people who were in absolute denial when I made those first prediction videos, saying that America is so powerful they could never be defeated. They're like one in like 187 or 192 countries, and 80% of the countries absolutely can't stand our guts because we've become a global terror. America is Babylon. We've done absolutely dreadful things. Just in the past, 20 years, we've killed millions of innocent civilians for imperialistic and colonialistic goals. Gaddafi in Libya was one of the greatest leaders in modern history. He was a saint to his people, and we slaughtered him in the streets because he was no longer going to purchase oil in US dollars. Amongst other things like taking care of his own people, making Africa and the Middle East strong. Anyways, we're the baddies. We're the bad guys. And people just aren't getting this. The entire world is surrounding us. We will be invaded, and we will be destroyed. And we need to be. And I'm not rooting for it in some sick nihilistic way. We are a problem. We hurt millions and millions of people every year with our policies, with our bad economics, with our greed, with our violence, with our fear and paranoia, and we can't be bargained with. When the Soviet Union fell, we made a promise we wouldn't move NATO to the east. That's all we've done since. We break all of our promises. We violate the sovereignty of any country for any reason. I mean, we did it in South America because we wanted their bananas. This isn't a joke. So here's what's going to happen next. What's happening in the Middle East?
Petty.
Yeah. That's going to pick up really quick. And the one country that's at odds with all the other countries, let's just do the math, folks. Once that country falls, I'm not even allowed to say the name of the country because I'll be called an anti-Semite. Like, I could literally say every other country in the world and say if they're going to win or lose a war. But if I say that country loses a war, I'll be called a name and be called a bigot. Anyways, that country's going to fall, okay? Another thing, military bases are being attacked right now. Do you understand what that means? Military bases don't get attacked. We're being surrounded right now, and there's been several attacks inside of the country from our enemies that they've tried to make you think are domestic attacks. They're not going to tell you that we're being invaded. They're not going to tell you that we're being attacked. They're not going to tell you if we're about to be nuked. America doesn't care. It's a psychopathic, rabid animal in the corner that knows it's going to lose, but does not have the decency or humility to surrender and apologize and pay for its crimes in a way where it doesn't have to go down in flames.
That's true.
We are being occupied. We are hostages in this situation, and we better pray that the enemies of our country have more mercy than we've had on the entire world. All right, so like I said, the dominoes are going to topple really fast from this point. Once that country gets taken out, Syria, Iran, Iraq are going to be military bases for Russia and China. Turkey is going to do a full alliance with Russia, China, and all the other countries that support the East. At which point, Europe will be given an ultimatum. Stand down or be obliterated. And then there's going to be some very interesting things that happen with Switzerland. Mark my words. Because Switzerland is the seat of the devil. Because Switzerland is the seat of power for the West. But they can't get to Switzerland until they get through a couple of their bodyguards in the Middle East and Eastern Europe. Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, Australia. Unfortunately, because there's a giant ocean between you and us, and we're the reason that you guys get things like free healthcare, you're going to be absorbed. We can't get to you fast enough. We're going to be fighting a war on the southern border. We're going to be scrambling all of our nuclear readiness aircraft and submarines to protect ourselves from the Poseidon missile that can create a tsunami on the East Coast. We're going to be fully staffed in Cheyenne Mountain, making sure an ICBM does not hit Yellowstone and activate the supervolcano. This war can go one of four ways. Okay, one is that all this is just a theater thing, and Revelations is really the thing they're trying to pull off. Like, so it'll get really crazy over in the Middle East, and all of a sudden, the Antichrist will show up, and they'll sign a great peace deal, and it'll be beautiful, and then you know we're just in a game, and just nothing matters, because they're going to play this stupid game. In the real world, in the realist perspective, America will be invaded. You might say it's going to take 10 years, you might say it's going to take 5 years, but I promise you, it can happen in 2 years. Now, in that scenario, America can either fight to the death or surrender. And hold the right people accountable, right? Like the people who vouched for Gaddafi's murder, the people that vouched for Assad's assassination attempt. These types of people. Put those people out there and hold them responsible, so the rest of the innocent Americans who, especially the ones that were trying to speak up about this, they can be spared. We can be given mercy. We had no control over the situation, and we did what we could to try to speak out about it and stop it. And another scenario is the people rise up, organized, and demand peace because no one fights, no one hits the red buttons, no one pulls the trigger, because we're done with this shit, because we know Atlantis can exist, and we're ready to have it.
And ultimately, I think that's what's going to happen. I think that when everything hits the fan, the people are going to stand up, and then people are going to organize, and we're going to call for peace. And the reason I say that is because, like he said, we're tired. We're tired. If we could not have war all the way around, then I think that we would do that. You know, I think we would have that. And his story don't seem too far off. But, you know, at the same time, I also think that, and this is just me, I think that they're not after us, the people. They might be after the ones they done seen on YouTube talking bad about their countries and stuff like that. Yeah, they taking a list. They have taken lists. So if y'all said anything negative about those people country, they may be coming for y'all because they feel like you guys are in cahoots with your government and you like how your government moves and you justify what your government does. And a lot of people don't. You know, it takes a strong person to go against their own government, right? It does, because you have to be an awakened person to see that what your government is doing is wrong. So that's just my thoughts on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think.
I'm telling you right now, some shit is going down in New York City and New York State.
I don't know who is manifesting Leave the World Behind, but cut it out. Just cut it out.
This morning, our internet was interrupted, like it was gone. I posted some videos earlier this morning, and then all of a sudden, the lights all went out in the house. They started flickering. It was identical to the movie. I shit you not. I was freaking out a little bit. And then the internet went off. My husband that works for a big company, and it's like nearby our house, calls me and says, do you have internet? And I was recording video, so in my mind I was like, yeah. But then I look at the TV and it says boost. You know, Spectrum, when like it's not working and it has to reboot, it has the words boot on it, and that's what was happening. That means that the lights did go out, but then they came back. Another minute goes by and the lights go off again. And now after an hour, internet and the lights are back. And the first thing I did was run to TikTok to see if anybody else is experiencing this. Are your lights flickering? Is your internet shutting off and not coming back? I don't know. I mean, this could be the last video I post for all we know. I mean, I hope the internet gods keep it all alive and going. So if you know anything, just comment because something's going on. It's weird.
Anybody from New York City, get in the comments. Are y'all still having that issue? Are there any blackouts? Let us know what's going on.
Is a test of the emergency.
Well, I was live and TikTok banned me. Not sure why.
There is no emergency
and
at this
just
time.
wanted to show you guys still at
This is
4:10
only a test.
a.m. This has been going on for 2 hours.
This
We had
is a
security
test
come up.
of
We've
the
had the police come
emergency
up. We are in Northern
notification
Virginia, right
system.
outside Washington,
This
D.C.
is only a
This has been
test.
going on for 2 hours. These are high
is no
classified
emergency at
security
this
buildings.
time.
The police cannot do anything.
This is
The
only
security
a
guy was
test.
from the building across the street. He can't even do anything.
This
He said this
is
was
a
not
test
normal.
of
So
the emergency notification system.
I just say prepare yourselves.
This is only
Prepare
a
yourselves,
test.
you guys. Seriously.
There is no emergency at
And-
this time. This is only a test.
Yeah, 4:10. This has been going on since 2 a.m.
This is a test
These are
of
high
the emergency
classified buildings.
notification system.
There's a car.
This is only a test.
Oh, there's a car.
There is no emergency
You guys
at
see
this
it?
time.
The car going around the parking lot right
This is only a test.
Oh, hell.
This is a test.
And here it is, January the 2nd, right? And I'm still waiting on that list, by the way. And I ain't seen nothing happen yet, y'all. I think sometimes we listen to these fear tactics that our government put on us, and we scare ourselves into oblivion. Now, I'm not saying don't be prepared. I'm not saying don't go get your med kits. Not saying don't stock up on ammunition. I'm not saying protect yourself at all costs. What I'm saying is sometimes you have to wait on that actual boom. When you hear that actual boom or those alarms go off, only then will you know it's time. But other than that, yeah, I just can't see it. I just can't see it. Maybe I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And you know what? Just for the record, I actually seen the frazzle drip video. It was wild. They say it was those women, well, those first two women on the left right there. I ain't gonna say their name for YouTube purposes because this is for entertainment purposes only. But I saw it. It's hard to really make out if that is who that was on that video. The video was gruesome though. I ain't gonna even lie. But yeah. That was my dark web days. I don't even go to the dark web no more because it's crazy stuff on there. Yeah. Has anybody seen the frazzle drip video? Get in the comments and let me know. I don't know what that is right there, man. But I would say Project Bluebeam. Always. It's always Project Bluebeam. Sorry, it can't be nothing else.
But one of the scenes where they pan the camera through the floors, where they would actually show in between the floors and everything, and they went downstairs. The emergency broadcast went from white noise to a scene from the news finally coming through, and it showed an image of the states in red, white, and black, and there was a QR code on there, right? So this QR code, if you scan the QR code, a lot of people don't know if you could scan this QR code.
Hey, where does it take you to, KT?
The QR code takes you to Mercer County, and specifically to a old amusement park. And the people who own this land, their name was Clay. Yeah, the Mitchells, specifically Clay Mitchell.
Serendipitous, man.
Right. So his name is Clay, right? So you read the story, and the story replicates the film because it's about these Caucasian people, right, that ended up coming up on Indian land. And when we say Indian, you know, even when you look at Killers of the Flower Moon, you know, they're going to show a certain type of Indian, not knowing that we're Indians. We're the indigenous people. We're the aboriginals, you know. You got Indian in your family. Of course I got Indian. I am. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
But they talk about him coming on this land, and the indigenous people that were already on the land was like, yo, what are you doing here? You can't just come and set up shop, bro. You got to go. Didn't listen. So ended up snatching his kids up, burnt one at the stake. So then he went and got his people, and they came and they just massacred all the indigenous people and just took the land because he took it a kind of way because of what he did to his children. But I'm like, he told you to leave. You didn't leave off the land. Lord knows what else y'all did.
Warned you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was retaliation, and then you retaliate the retaliator, you know? So the land is haunted, you know? So the amusement park that they built, a little girl died on the swings, a kid drowned, you know, and they have this thing called the Dark Festival there every October, which is the same month Matthew Perry died, Julia Roberts' birthday.
October 28th.
The trailer came out, right?
Wow. Something about that.
And this is Scorpio energy, and Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke, Amanda and Clay are both Scorpios. Yeah, it's all integrated.
Yeah, numerology plays a big part in a lot of this right here. And for my folks out there that do gematria, you know. If you know, you know, right? But let me say this, and I'm gonna end it here. With all this propaganda that's going on in the media today, man, it is a must that we look past this stuff, and we gotta stay focused, not only for ourselves but for our family too, because we would find ourselves being afraid. And when you're afraid, then you can no longer make rational decisions that would allow you to survive through tough times or whatever type of times that are to come. So I would recommend people to think for themselves, do your own research, and understand all of this stuff comes back to a common denominator, and it's not for you to fear. I mean, this has happened before in the past, but now you got the media, and this media is showing this, that media is showing this, that media is showing this, and social media has allowed people to become Alex Jones times 20. So now you're listening to them and you're listening to him, and all this stuff is stirring up in your brain. You don't even realize you're accepting all of this information that they're giving you, and it's misleading and it's misinformation on the most part, right? So now it's making you think outside of yourself. Now you're panicking. Now you're doing things that push you over the edge, and now your children are looking at you because they don't understand, and they're calling you wacko and all of these different things. All I'm saying is stay ready so you don't have to get ready, and don't be so stuck into social media, and you know, a lot of it is fake news. They replicate what the mainstream media is doing. That's what they do. That's how they know how to do the reporting, because they get it from mainstream media, right? So yeah, you really can't go off of it. You have to have a level of discernment that keeps you and your family safe, because at the end of the day, when things do hit the fan, that's all that's gonna matter, is you and your family. You and your family. If you can help a neighbor, then help a neighbor. I would hope that your neighbor has their stuff together. But that's just my take on it. Y'all get in the comments and y'all let me know what y'all think about all of this. But hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Head over to the Discord. It's free. Send me videos you want to see me react to. And also, don't challenge the person, challenge the argument.